Honey mustard?
Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Vince Gilligan, creator of Breaking Bad.
I'm Anna Gunn, and I play Skyler White.
And I am Aaron Paul. I played Jesse Pinkman.
I'm Laura Fraser. I play Lydia Redart Quayle.
Michelle MacLaren, one of the executive producers, and directed this episode.
And W. Gilpin, and I'm the construction coordinator for the show.
Hey.
All right.
And we are not face-to-face with either Laura or Michelle or W, the three of us here, Anna and I and Aaron, because we are separated by 800 miles of geography. You guys are in Albuquerque, we're in L.A. And this is the first time, 10 seconds ago was the first time I ever met Laura. I've never actually spoken to Laura. But Laura, it's great to meet you. You were so damn good in this episode and all the other subsequent ones. Great to meet you finally.
It's good to meet you.
Over the phone, as it were.
Orally.
So this is Germany.
Orally, yes, that's right.
All right.
That's the exact
Yeah.
perfect way to put it.
Yes. Hey, so, and I forgot to mention, I wrote this episode, and Michelle directed the living bejesus out of it. And talk about this, where we are here, Michelle.
Well, we're supposedly in Germany, but we're actually in a local Albuquerque high school. This is a very hard location to find because we wanted to have a completely different look than our regular Breaking Bad look. And our wonderful locations department, they found this school that was very new, and this is a cooking part of the school that has not yet opened. So everything was very pristine, and it was kind of perfect for us. And we walked in, and actually, Vince, if you remember, this was written originally as a boardroom. And we had
That's
a really
right.
hard time finding a boardroom that looked like it was in Germany. And so because it was this tasting scene, I don't know if it was Mark Freeborn or who, maybe it was you, came up with the idea to make it a test kitchen. And they found this, which was perfect.
Wow, great job. And I tell you, I love Carrington Vilmont here is the fellow. I love everyone, but these two guys especially. But Carrington is the fellow in the white lab coat who was so excited about the French. He did an excellent job. We got him out of New York, I think.
Yes.
And then this gentleman Norbert did such a wonderful job here.
Yes, he did great. Now, there's a little shout out to you here, Vince, in one of your past movies coming up here very quickly, right?
Yes.
There it is.
Burgermatic. Yes, this was the fast food chain in Home Fries, a movie I wrote.
Oh, no, right.
Came out back in, I'm sorry, way down the other end, the far end next to the Madrigal sign, I'm sorry you can't see Luftwaffles, which was
Luftwaffles.
which was another good one. But yeah, Burgermatic
good.
from or BM in Home Fries there with Luke Wilson and Drew Barrymore. And this is at high school, right? I love that sign, W. You guys created all this stuff, and you just do such a great job building our sets and whatnot. I'm just so impressed.
No, thank you. Yes, everything was manufactured from scratch, and all those signs custom designed by Mark Freeborn, and we prefabbed it in our mill right there at the studio at Albuquerque.
And then hung them
Great
up. Was
job.
that hard to hang those?
It was a challenge, but it came out good, and we made them very adjustable. For Michelle to move to camera, which we did on a couple of them, and then she got her shot.
Yes, yeah, no. As usual, these guys build things so that if it's a set, that we fly walls or adjust signs. And coming up here, actually, this is a set that that Norbert's walking into. The W built that was absolutely fantastic. It was amazing, and we actually had to build it on location at this high school. And they had a television department and had a studio at the high school. So just for scheduling reasons, they built it right there in the studio.
How long did it take you to build this set?
I think we had plenty of time on this one. We had like 6 days to build it.
No,
Plenty of
W, this set
Plenty
was,
of time.
This set was
Plenty of
raised.
time.
W and our special effects department did something great here because they had to build this set raised because I wanted to get the camera level with the floor because of what is about to happen, and we had to put a fake soft padded floor in here, but only padded it enough that it didn't hurt if you fell on it, but not so much that you could see the indentation of people walking on it, because you'll see what's going to happen. And it was a 3-walled set, because our cameras and lights and things went in there.
So how'd you guys come up with this?
We're just sick fucks.
I mean, when I read this, I was like, "Oh my god!"
I
This
know.
is a clear case of product misuse, by the way. Don't try this at home. And I love the red toilet paper. Mark Freeborn found, honest to God, red toilet paper on the internet somewhere, and then Werner made this toilet actually flush. That's actually a special effect because they don't typically, in a set, they don't typically work unless you make them work.
You know, Vince, I can confess something to you now. The toilet seat broke that night, and we were in there with red nail polish and glue, putting that thing back together, and praying to God nobody would notice.
Who broke the toilet seat?
Well, we had two toilets.
I was already gone. This is W. I truly believe it really was Michelle.
That reminds me, there's a famous story on Plan 9 from Outer Space. Tor Johnson, the big Swedish wrestler who played one of the zombies, actually broke Ed Wood's toilet seat in his house when they were shooting the movie by his girth. That's a great story. Anyway, okay, let's talk about Breaking Bad some more. I love this scene. I love the way you shot this, Michelle.
Everywhere, okay?
Your car? Did you check?
No. It's
thoroughly.
yes, of course. Look, it's not in my house. It's not. In
You use the special lenses to get that close?
We did. Well, actually, I'm trying to remember. We either used a close focus macro lens, or we used a very long lens. I think we used a combination. I think we used probably a very long lens, and then, as I said, a close focus macro. And this was really hard for the focus pullers to do. I mean, this was a lot of timing, and Bryan is fantastic at helping hold things a specific amount of time, and all you guys are, and being very aware of the camera and helping out with those kind of intricate moves.
And holding it right, a millimeter one way or the other, and the thing be out of focus. So
Exactly,
hitting that mark, as it were.
That's
tricky.
it is a hard thing to do. And then
How did you do that shot?
that shot was, we had a fake toilet seat. Well, we had half of a toilet seat, and then we had a fake bottom with Lexan on the bottom, so the camera goes underneath and looks up through the toilet. And this shot, we had a snorkel lens. So W built an electrical box that you could go into from the behind, and then we had a long lens that went in straight into the electrical box.
Oh,
Nicely done. And W, I've said this on the last one of these audio things we recorded. This is a hell of a set. This is not a real Jesse's house here is a set, and you guys did a hell of a job building this thing. It's a wonderful set.
It was a challenge, especially for the door and the hardware, because it was nothing off the shelf. So our great fabricators in the metal shop handmade all the hardware in that entire set, including the railings and everything. We handsmithed it right in our own mill.
Matching the original
it's
house,
unreal.
right?
Matching the original house.
When we first started shooting on this set, we would walk out the front door, thinking you would forget that you were in the middle of a stage. You would think you're like walking out to outside, but it was just so perfect.
And this was an add-on, this bedroom. And these stairs was an
right.
add-on too. After the original set was built, you guys added on the stairs, and then the bedroom, of course, is actually a completely separate set.
Nice. I love this montage. This great song. I forget the artist, but I love the song, and I love the way Kelly.
I was going to say
Dixon,
Kelly
cut it,
Dixon,
and
yeah.
Yeah, and I love the way you shot it. Great job. All hands on deck on that one. Great stuff. And then you had to make this Roomba thing remote controlled, right? The special effects department made it
Actually,
remote controlled.
this was our props department, and Jason,
department.
he got a, I believe it's a remote control remote control motor from a car, and they installed it into the Roomba, and then he controls it off an app on his iPhone.
wow.
Yeah, he was controlling the Roomba with his iPhone.
Damn. You were so easily fooled here. I swear to God.
No.
Aaron, you're so awesome here. You made me cry when we were doing this scene.
I know. Me too. I'd watch it in the editing room. Just that first time seeing the whole thing. Just great.
Jesse is an emotional wreck. He just has gone through it.
He wants to give it.
Yeah.
Walt is the devil here. Even Jesse's tears here coming up are so moving that even Walt, you can see that twinge of guilt. Even in the devil himself here, the Walt, you can see this twinge of guilt he has coming up here.
Aaron, you're so great though. You're so bold and brave, and you just were so completely lost yourself in this. It was amazing.
I almost shot you.
Hey, now.
No, I almost killed you all because
Where do those tears come from? Is that some kind of glycerin that you put into?
That's the real deal. I
I'm
slapped him.
just kidding.
Yeah, they beat me up in between takes.
I am so impressed. You guys, all you guys, I said it in the last audio commentary. I'm sounding like a broken record. We got the best damn actors anywhere, TV or movies. And that includes our regular cast, and that includes the wonderful actors we bring in like Laura. And we're lucky to have the great acting, the deep bench of acting talent that we have on this show. It's what makes it great.
And I wouldn't change a thing. You and I working together.
Well, the writing and the stories that we're telling is what makes it easy.
Yeah. It all starts there.
Yeah.
That is
It
so
really
true.
does. So we're really blessed. It's a gift every week, every episode we get.
God bless you guys.
Because I've done some projects that I was just horrible, and I blame it on the writing.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps me out. Yeah.
Oh, then I gotta give a shout out to one of my favorite movies, Cane Mutiny. Here is what Mike is watching on TV. Great movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Cane Mutiny is a great movie.
Now, W, you guys did quite a bit of work in this house, didn't you?
Yes, we had to plug holes, cover staircases, repaint, greens out front. It was a pretty good changeover from what it originally was.
So this is a real house that you're
Yes.
shooting
It
in
is, yeah.
here. Gotcha. And this is what amazes me too about W's work and the work of his crew, and also the work of the lighting department, Michael Slovis, and you can't tell the real
You, Jesse, and
places from the sets that are built. You can't tell. I mean, which one? It'd be like a game you could play, trying to guess which one is which. But it'd only be luck that could really get you through it, because there's no telling just by looking at these things.
Vince, this was your idea to shoot this scene in this kitchen, which was really small, but I loved the concept and the thing that this location allowed us to do, because it had all these doorways. That one of the reasons I'm shooting through the doorway here is because you couldn't really. It was very hard to get the camera in there, which we did. As
I'm
you can
full of
see,
good
but-
ideas, aren't I? I got a sandwich in my hand and a drink in the other. I'm like, hey, why don't you shoot it in this place? And then I wander off. You guys have to deal with it.
No, I loved it. It was awesome. It was so great.
each of us will receive a larger cut.
Yeah, this was tiny, huh?
And this we were up in a staircase there. The camera is. Yeah, it's good though.
Thanks.
It
'Cause
looks
usually
great. It probably.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Usually.
I was just going to say, usually we when Mark and W build a set, we fly the walls, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of the time we build them rather than shoot practically. But this location, even though it was challenging because of all the different doorways and nooks and crannies and things, we're actually able to get some really nice angles in here. And this wasn't the only episode that shot here, so it was very shooter friendly.
Tell folks what you mean when you say fly the walls.
We actually pull the walls apart. W builds. Will you explain it?
Well, basically, when we build a set, it's built modular, so that you can take a wall out, or for instance, in the White House, the whole fireplace unit is on wheels. A couple of screws rolls out of the way, and that's how we get some of these unique camera angles. And then, like the toilets, we set those on a platform so you can get the camera underneath it to shoot up.
Ceilings
So things
fall
come
off.
apart. In this particular case, we actually took part of their staircase out that was in that area so that they could get the camera for this particular angle right here, but then went back in for the other angle. So
Impressive. I'm so glad you got this shot, Michelle. I've wanted this shot ever since we started shooting in the Sims building here in downtown Albuquerque. I wanted this shot down through the spiral staircase, and you finally got it.
It's fun. It's really fun. This location had been turned into a casino by a movie or something right before we were shooting.
Oh, I bet it was Vegas. It
Might have,
Probably
yeah,
the
I
TV
think you're
show.
right. Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And we were challenged in getting it back, but we were able to.
Is that one where the wings?
They turned this into a casino. That's interesting.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a full casino carpeted, so that was last minute to get everything.
Did you guys pull it all apart?
Yeah, the other company did, but we were able to just sneak it in.
Peter Schuler in 1992. Almost single-handedly.
And this is truly upstairs, or is this our set?
No, this is our set. That's a techno crane there that we used to pull back across that. And this was our new set that again W and Mark Freeborn designed and W built.
It's actually the first time you see this set. It was there's two different configurations on this particular one for an office, and then we pull a few walls out, rearrange it, and then it becomes. Oh, there's our gal right there. So
that was Laura's
the lovely
introduction.
Laura.
Yeah.
Yes. And Wolf Muser is it? Wolf Muser is the actor who plays the main guy here.
And that's what W was just saying, that they designed this set to configure into 2 or 3 different things at the DEA.
Just as you do.
So this is sometimes the bullpen. Whistle Pig. Whistle Pig's good stuff. And I'm not just saying that because they sent me a case of it after this episode aired.
didn't share,
I
huh?
love it. It's good. That's why it's in here, because it's good. And then they liked that it was in here, and then so I'm even more of a drunk than I was before this episode. It's delicious. There's Michael Seamus Wiles, who's been playing Merker for quite a while on our show. Always does a wonderful job. This is his this is sort of his goodbye on the show.
It is.
Ramey's a good man. He'll do right by you. Besides, this office practically runs itself.
Bullshit, it does.
So that little quick shot we had of Laura in the boardroom was a subtle introduction. And I remember, Vince, we didn't want to draw our eye too much to her, but we wanted everybody to notice her, because we're gonna meet her in a little bit.
That's right. That's tricky, isn't it? When you see it and it says in the script, for instance, that's a good example. We want to notice this young woman, but we don't want to notice her. We want to notice her, but not unduly. So how do you translate something like that? How do you know how long to hold the shot or how close to be, or how does that work?
Well, it's kind of just we eyeball it, I guess. But what I wanted to do was we specifically shot it across a few people, so it didn't look like we were pointing out anybody in particular. But as you could see that the one guy leaned back as Laura leaned forward, so we tried to make it look somewhat naturally. But the racked to Laura, and she gave us a little look, and we did it a few times so we could try to make it subtle and not kind of in your face.
Told me.
How was that being your first day?
But that
your first
wasn't.
day
That was
shooting?
my second day.
Oh, your
'cause my
first day was the
day-
cafe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Yeah.
Every time I grill it now, I make a little.
Michelle, more than one take? What do you mean?
Yeah.
So Laura, I got to ask, what's with this fake Scottish accent you're putting on the audio commentary?
I'm working on it for something.
It's very good, very convincing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Laura, of course, is from. Are you a Glaswegian?
I am. Yeah.
Glasgow?
Glasgow. Yeah.
You have an
Glasgow.
incredible American accent.
Yeah,
really.
wonderful American accent. And here's your
Thanks.
big scene here. Coming up here.
We did have one word though. Do you remember one word? The chamomile tea.
Oh yeah. I was in chamomile, and you didn't notice it, Michelle. Because
I didn't
you're
notice it because I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
And then somebody else came up and said
chamomile.
that we were both pronouncing it wrong.
Well, that doesn't mean you guys are pronouncing it wrong. Maybe we in America
Right.
perhaps pronouncing it wrong.
for Americans, for an American
Yeah, in
accent.
this one. I was so frightened on this day. I was so nervous, and thank God my character was nervous because I was just dying, and I was so scared. Oh my God!
You were
You
so
came in
great.
and nailed it.
You did
You were
great.
so great.
I love this scene
Laura's
so much.
first day, and she had a 9-page scene or something. It was just, you did amazing.
This waitress did a wonderful job too. She was great.
Yeah.
I would like a cup of hot water filtered.
Did you have fun working with Jonathan that first day?
I don't know if I'd call it fun that first day, but it was intense. And when it was over, I felt like we shared something. And he said, "You done good, kid." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." He's so cool. He's so cool.
He's very cool.
Such a good guy.
I love your oversized glasses
Oh, they're
so
great.
much. I do.
I know when they give us all the 20 pairs to try on for you to pick, Vince, I was like, oh, I really hope he doesn't pick those ginormous ones.
Oh. Oh no, I picked the wrong ones. I'm sorry.
They're so great.
They are.
And this is Debriana Mancini, who's the waitress. She does a very nice job.
How did I not?
Everybody in this thing's great.
You want anything else, Mike?
No.
Hey, so how long?
We had fun. We had fun shooting it.
Yeah, and I don't know why I'm on a kick today of doing this thing. I'm always interested in how long things take. But how long was this? A whole day of shooting the scene, or was it?
Believe it or not, it wasn't. We
Jesus.
actually shot something else this day and then moved to this location. I think we might have shot Mike's house, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, we did. We
Was it
went to
Mike's house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lydia's house in Houston.
Lydia's
Oh,
the same day?
Oh, was it
the same day? Oh,
No, I don't think so. No. Lydia's house in Houston was at night. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But we shot something else this day, and so we were under a lot of time pressure, and we actually started to lose the light, as we often do here.
Oh yeah.
But we were able to make it through. But as a result, we didn't have a ton of time, and being Laura's first day, she was amazing. I mean, amazing for any day, but I mean,
I'm always
the pressure that
amazing.
you're under.
There was 11 men, and I think you know this, Mike. Those 11 could sink us. You and me both.
People who can do different accents in different countries and always impress me. It's like because your American accent is like flawless here. Great job.
Very publicly.
Well, I practiced it a lot because this was my audition scene as well, so I did this so many times. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Great job.
remember that.
Great job.
Okay, all it's gonna take is 2 or 3.
I love Lydia.
There's always a week.
I'm going to miss Lydia so much. My husband's not, though.
Oh yeah. You because of all the travel.
But I love your.
Not just the travel, like the sort of uptightness that kind of just stays with me.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Or maybe it was already there. I don't know.
Well, that's a good question for both you ladies. Well, and for Aaron as well. Does it when you're playing a part? I mean, is it hard to turn on and off? Maybe.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it'll the residual kind of stuff from the day will stay around, and sometimes you know it, and sometimes you don't actually, and then you kind of carry it off, and you wonder, feeling kind of funky. I wonder what's that about? Everything's okay. I don't know why I feel that way, and then you realize,
Feeling so messed up right now.
yeah.
Yeah, I really. I used to take it home with me,
Yeah.
and just keep it on, and because when you go home, you start working on your material for the next day or the next week, and you're back in the moment, anyways. But it's good to, like Bryan, he's always says, it's good to just shake it off after work.
Yeah.
Just have a moment for yourself, and then yeah. But sometimes it's really hard to shake it.
Yeah.
I remember the time I was on the set. I'm not on the set that often, but I was fortunate enough to be there when the scene was shot, when Jane died, and Walt is watching her die. And Bryan unfortunately, we had to take the cast and crew photo for the season right after that, and he was crying in the cast and crew photo because he was still in that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very, very unfortunate timing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the Loyola coffee shop on Central Avenue on Old Route 66, right in the middle of Albuquerque. I think is where he shot this. Is that right, Michelle?
So yes, that's correct. It's
Yeah.
a great coffee shop.
You can go eat there.
I gotta go.
That's a cute little booger, this little baby. Which baby is this?
Oh my gosh, we had so many
Hard to
babies.
remember.
When Holly was really tiny, we had so
Look
many
at that
babies.
baby.
I know.
I will.
They're all so cute.
We're so limited with the time with them at that age that we always had 6 to 8 of them around when when
Now-
we'd be shooting with them at that small.
They're piled everywhere.
They're
underfoot.
Anna, do you have a favorite baby?
Well, we're working with one this season that is
It's just-
so cute. She's just so happy and
Oh, she's
so
awesome.
sweet. Baby Mo. Baby Mo. We love
Baby
her.
Mo.
Yeah. She's a
Baby
sweetheart.
Mo is amazing.
She is.
And do we
Follows the
always
action. She
use?
follows Anna.
Do we always use girl babies? No, right? We have some.
In the early
when they
days,
were little. we
In the
used-
early days,
Yeah.
yeah.
little boy babies too. Brian.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this shot. I love how you never see Brian's face in this shot. I ask for that all the time. This is one of the few times.
I love it. I think it's great.
That wasn't really Bryan.
It makes sense.
I'm kidding. It was.
That was Ted Beneke.
Oh, chow.
Mr.
Chow.
Chow.
Chow. It's so good having Chow. I love his tie. Gotta love his tie.
Now, this gentleman who's playing his lawyer did not speak English.
All right.
And he came to the set with his grandson. He was great. He was really wonderful. He had such a great look.
This is James Ning who plays Chow. And if you look real closely when he's lighting a cigarette, you can see the bullet scar, the scar from where in season 4 when Mike shot him through the hand. You got to look close though, but it's there. It's there.
Waiving your right to have an attorney present? Correct.
I got to tell you, these 3 guys are great in this scene. Dean and Jonathan are just all 3 of these guys are great with each other in this scene. And W, is this a build? Is this a set?
This was actually a slight changeover of our DEA set with a couple of changing walls around using the same ceiling and creating another set within a set within a set.
Wow.
I oversee loss prevention. And at a fast food restaurant, that's a full-time job.
And so much thought goes into picking these colors. I know Mark Freeborn always has, I get these books of swatches of paint colors and with his recommendations of what color a set should be. And 99 times out of 100, I'm like, oh yeah, that's perfect. You know,
Yeah, because Mark has to work with costumes, this, that, everything, so that you don't have a blue wall with a person wearing a blue shirt in front of it, and a blue tie, and everybody disappears.
Exactly. So contrasting colors is a big thought about making people pop against a wall and whatnot.
And their skin color and everything too. So.
Yeah. And also color can help emotionally, can help create a mood along with the acting, along with the where the camera is placed, the composition of the shot, all those things work together.
Turns out we know some folks there. And they told us that your tenure as a police officer ended somewhat dramatically. You want to talk about that?
Not particularly.
Yeah, me neither. See, I'm more interested in why Gus Fring decided to put a guy like you in charge of his corporate security. I mean, given your history.
Michael Slovis. This was a very challenging set for Michael because we didn't have any windows except for the door. And that's a really hard thing to deal with. And it was supposed to have the feeling of being in a box, and it's an interrogation room. And I think he did a beautiful job with this. And our colorist, Michael always says that our colorist, Tom Sartori, how do you pronounce his name?
Tom
Vince?
Sartori, yeah.
Sartori.
Tom Sartori.
He did amazing job with this.
Wonderful job.
Michael talks about it quite a bit.
Colorist, for those who don't know, this is at the one of the final stages, image-wise, of the show, or any movie, any TV show, is when the edited episode goes through color timing. And this is a man or woman who sits in a very darkened room and watches the episode on a $50,000 or $60,000 television set that's absolutely perfectly tuned and aligned and calibrated, and make sure that the colors from shot to shot match, and that they are as perfect as they can be.
A $50,000 or $60,000 television set?
Yeah, you know what? And they're the last folks to be really using and advocating for tube TVs, cathode CRT monitors. Everything now is flat screen, but they've got a Sony, I think it's a Sony tube TV that was 50 or 60 grand, or maybe 80 grand. I don't know what it was, but it's like this impeccable tube TV, and a lot of the old school guys, these genius colorists like Tom, really prefer the CRT, the cathode ray tube TV versus the plasma or the LCD or the OLED or any of that stuff. To his eye, the color is more. It's what he's used to. It's more true. It's more fitting, and doesn't mean that these other flat screens won't get there someday. But and I'm not going to argue with a guy like that, because this guy sees colors and sees gradations between color. My eye is not capable of comprehending.
That's
so.
fascinating. I never knew that.
Interesting stuff. He's a good guy. Does a great job.
Yeah. $2 million and change we found on deposit for her, way more than anybody else. Now, my partner here, he took one look at that and said, shit, man, this 5th grade girl is the muscle behind Fring's entire operation. I said, whoa, hey, partner, slow down there. Maybe it was actually her dear old granddaddy. Impressive, no? But level of insight. He's not impressed, Comey.
Perhaps he's picturing all that money going bye-bye.
Yeah, well, the government's going to take every last dollar unless... Well, here's the thing, Mike. Michael?
Mr. Armentrout.
Here's the thing, Mike. Lucky for you, you didn't touch that money. Cannot say the same for the other 11 on the list.
One of you guys is going to roll on you. And then we'll definitely remember the handcuffs.
Now, before that day comes, you can do yourself a solid. You can tell us what you know. You can tell us who's still out there. And if we like your story...
These guys are great together. They just really are.
Kaylee might be able to keep some...
My only wish is that we could have seen more of these guys together.
So what do you say?
This is one of the rare scenes where Mike and where these worlds collide, and Mike and
I don't know anything about
Hank and Gomez are together.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I love how he delivers that line.
It's really fun. Yeah, it's really fun watching these guys, all of you guys work.
Ooh, and that look on his face when he turns
I love
away
that
from them.
delivery. I don't know what you're talking about.
First order of business is to find a place.
Greatest inflatable ever.
And that's old. Old stock footage, because we can't go back to that place anymore. It's either been torn down or turned into some kind of bar. Or something.
No, it's turned into a bar.
Yeah, it's a bar.
Okay.
Working bar.
It's a bar with like a mechanical bull in it, right?
Too small.
No, that's the one next to it. This is another bar. This is a bar next to the bar. To the bar.
How many
But
bars?
the exterior is different, so it doesn't match at all.
That shopping center has 6 bars in it.
A lot of drinkers in that neighborhood.
It does.
Wow.
Jesus.
Town is trickier. I mean, you got
All right.
your prying eye.
And then a tattoo parlor, of course, down
There you
next
go.
door.
Can't do without that.
Probably does very good business.
Mr. Aaron Paul.
Where are we with that?
I love you guys are always great together. The 3 guys. What do you remember about this scene? Anything?
Oh, man. Not much, no. I always am. Every time I work with Bob, the famous Saul Goodman, I am so mesmerized by his ties. They're just, really, it's really his wardrobe. Look at his socks.
Oh, the Argyle socks.
Very next day,
But it's so great. Everything about the character is just
His hair.
incredible.
Yeah. That was one of the first things. I'm sorry, Bob's not on this one, because one of the first things when I first spoke to him about taking this role, he said, "I want to talk about my hair." And I literally, one of the first sentences, like sentence number 2 or 3, when I was on the phone with him about taking this job, he says, "Let me talk about the character's hair. I think you should have kind of a modified mullet, business in the front, party in the back." Because he does not normally. That's not his normal hair.
No.
Nor his normal clothes. It should be pointed out.
Jesse too, I suppose.
Vince, I don't know if you remember when we were talking about this scene, because we're in Saul's office, but Walt was running the show there, so
Right.
we put him in the more prominent seat, and Saul in a guest seat.
Oh yeah, smart.
And this is Kaylee.
Kaylee.
I love this relationship. Such a great aspect to this character of Mike.
Yeah.
Kaja Bales. Here, wonderful job playing Kaylee. And you can see that little pig rolling around in that previous cut, the thing that he's going to use in a little bit to help get a leg up on the killer who'll be waiting for him in the next scene. A little visual shout out to it. I like how you did that very subtly, Michelle. That had that pig rolling around just in the, you know.
Oh, there's this
Yeah, I think
one.
we just wanted to have a little taste of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right, Anna. There's his wound. No,
Yeah,
he's
there's
this
his
set.
wound,
Mr.
right.
Chow's house is a set.
I love the lighting in this shot. I think it's particular the color, the green in the background, the sort of grades from light to dark. Beautiful lighting from Michael Slovis and his
You
guys.
see the pig there again.
Yeah.
All right. You give me 2 hours.
And Chris here did a real nice job.
He did. And Chris is you know, he came to us, I think, first in your episode, right, Vince?
Yeah, I think
In
he
413.
Exactly right. Exactly right. He was an extra, and I like the idea of continuity. He was one of Gus's bodyguards in that scene when Gus visits the hospital, and then he's walking to the parking deck, and then he senses that something bad's going to happen, and he avoids getting blown up. And so Chris was in those sequences, and I just like the idea of continuity and not having to introduce yet again a whole new guy in this episode. So we read Chris, who does not have a lot of experience acting. Hey, look at the cat. Isn't that weird? That cat just happened to be there. But Chris wound up doing an excellent job as an actor here. Although I don't think he had, am I wrong? Am I right in saying, Michelle, he hadn't really acted before or not much?
He had never acted before. Nope, he was just an extra, and he did great. He did a really, really good job, and Jonathan was very helpful with him. This set is on, again on stage, and of course we had to match it. You guys had to match it to the exterior.
Is that right? So you guys built this? Wow.
No, it's actually that was on location right there. Now that's on stage.
Right, right. So this
And
is
then we actually built a custom eyepiece for the camera to do that shot looking through the lens. We built this very oversized eyepiece so you can get that camera view that much.
Nice job.
But they have to match. You know, once we had to pick the house obviously first, so they could design the interior to match the exterior of the house.
And why in this case wouldn't you just shoot inside? Just because the layout was wrong or it wasn't big enough or that kind of a thing?
We looked at so many houses and we just couldn't find anything where the layout was big enough for what we were actually wanting to do here. And again, it's just so challenging shooting in these, especially in these small houses, for lighting it, getting a camera position. And we pulled this wall here to get behind Mr. Chow. We've got 3 actors in a scene, you got cameras and lights. And houses that size, they have traditionally small rooms.
Right.
Well, the special effects too with the bullet hits.
Exactly,
We
yeah.
actually had multiple walls for this scene coming up very shortly here.
I have a drawing that Vince drew of Mr. Chow with the blood splattered against the wall. And it's a really good drawing, Vince.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm sitting in the hair and makeup trailer, and I see it to my right. I'm like, and I had just read the episode. I'm like, wait, who drew that? And they said Vince, and I grabbed it, and I noticed it was a photocopy. So I instantly called the office in L.A. I'm like, where is this original? Just wondering where it was, and they gladly gave it to me because I wanted it. Yeah,
God bless you, man.
it's great.
Appreciate you.
But it had the details of the exact color of blood that Vince wanted on it, and it was just like not too dark, but not too light, but maybe like a rusty color. I mean, it was great.
Vince, what is your dream life like?
It's much more boring than you would expect.
I don't believe that.
This house is beautiful. Where's this house?
This house is phenomenal. This is in Albuquerque. This is right near the hospital. I'm not sure the name of the area, but it's not far from Nob Hill. And it was funny because we were on a location scout. We were having a hard time finding the house, and I looked up and I saw it on a hill, and I said, "That's the kind of house we should go to." And the location manager looked at me and said, "That's where I'm taking you right now."
Oh wow!
Oh man.
Once again, Christian found an amazing location. We walked in, and Vince, I think you were here when we picked this house, or you saw it before we shot it.
I
and
saw
you
it.
and I both just went, "Oh my gosh!"
You and
this
I
is it.
walked into it at the same moment. I was lucky enough to be on the scout that day, and you and I looked at each other and were like, "Oh shit, this is great. This is the place."
Yeah.
And young Lillian, who plays Kira here, Kira named after Kira Rai, who is our New Mexico casting, wonderful New Mexico casting lady.
She did such a good job, and Norma, the nanny, these guys did great.
And of course,
And that little girl, she has the same exact birthday and year and date and everything as my own daughter. That's bizarre. Yeah.
Isn't that something? That was like meant to be. It was a kismet.
How was it shooting this one, Laura? Was it scary?
Yeah, I'd never actually worked with a real gun, so I was a little bit freaked about that. But I really loved doing this scene. It's such a great scene.
I told Jonathan the gun didn't actually need to be loaded, but he's a method actor.
Insisted, yeah.
He insisted. That's a hell of a view. I think the folks who live in that house, the husband and wife. The husband is an architect around who designed all the fire stations around Albuquerque, and he designed the house for himself and his wife, and it is a beautiful house.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did such a good job here, Laura.
Yeah, you're great here. And that's a real Albuquerque.
This house
at
was
night.
actually, and it was very challenging to shoot in this house. We were very limited what we could do because it was so reflective.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to be very careful. So it's surprisingly as you're really only looking in very limited directions because we would see ourselves. Yeah. And Michael Slovis did an amazing job so that we could see the view in the background.
Your daughter won't see you.
Yes, she will. She'll find me. She never once sleeps through the night.
Laura, you're great here. Just really, you can feel the fear. I mean, well done.
Thank you.
No.
The script is so awesome, though, Vince. I mean, what she says here is so bizarre.
I know.
Oh, good. I'm glad. That was one of those things. I don't think we had this. I may be getting my facts wrong, but this is one of those things when I actually was writing it, I thought, how would you talk? How do you do a scene where someone talks themselves out of being killed? Because you've kind of seen that scene before in movies and TV shows. What is it she says? And then suddenly this weird stuff about, it's more or less okay if you kill me. I'd prefer you didn't. But just the main thing is my body can't disappear. I thought that sort of just came to me, I think.
It's so great.
That was genius.
But it immediately says who she is as a person, right away.
Exactly.
It really
That's
does.
what's so great about it.
Good.
Yeah. That's it gives such insight.
Was this, so you start like as the sun goes down and then you have to wrap by dawn? Is that how, was this a full night of shooting?
It wasn't a full night because we had something to do daylight wise. I can't remember what it was, but we shot the night establishing magic hour. When we're not establishing, but when we're outside, we were down low looking up at the house.
Gotcha.
That was at magic hour, so we had to be there a little early. And then we only had the little girl. Lillian was only available to us for a certain amount of time. So I'm not sure I guess we did shoot till sunup because we also shot the scene out in front of the house with Jonathan. This one here. Now what we did is this is twinkle lights in the background, long lands, and we're right outside the house.
Oh, you did? You shot on the street out in front?
We did.
Okay, because I thought originally you was going to do it back at the studio.
No, just to fill out the schedule. We
Gotcha.
did that.
Gotcha.
You still plan to move forward? Yes, we do. I've reconsidered.
So these are little like Christmas lights in the background, like twinkle lights.
Exactly, on grip stands.
And that's something. That's a nice shot. I like that, Michelle, looking through the kitchen window there. That's nice.
And again, that's on stage, right?
Yeah, this is a beautiful set, amazing set, you guys. Wonderful build there.
Well, it's the crew that we have. We have wonderful carpenters, painters, welders, greensmen, across the board. New Mexico crew is wonderful.
They really are.
No, Anna, this scene was edited short. You remember?
And on the Blu-ray or
Oh, yeah.
DVD that you're watching this on, there's the extended version in the deleted scene section, so you can see the full version, I believe. You guys want to talk about the full version?
Ooh. Extra creepy.
The extra creepy version. As if this isn't creepy enough.
Oh my.
God, I feel so bad for Skyler.
Yeah.
Just not in
You
a
were
good.
so great,
Not
Hannah.
a good. Thank you.
You're great in this scene.
Look at him just undressing.
Yeah.
Like nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
Yeah.
He's just.
That's what's so scary.
Yeah.
You know, to Skyler, it's just like, oh my God, he's so creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's being sort of held hostage in her own house.
Yeah.
And he's just pretending like everything's just fine.
Do you want to talk about the full version? Because there was a big argument. Michelle, well, not an argument. Michelle really wanted the full version in the final cut. We cut it as much for time as anything, but I'm kind of glad it's gone now. Because speak of what happens at the end, because even if you watch the deleted scene, you might not fully comprehend what's happening.
Michelle? I can't speak of it.
Yeah.
I can't speak of it.
Well, Walt puts the moves on her. He wants to have sex. And Skyler really can't imagine having to do that, understandably, at this point. So to prevent that from happening, she reaches over and gives him a hand job. And it's really heartbreaking and creepy and gross.
You know, as they say in the trade, write what you know. So
Right. Why did you take that out? Write what you know.
But you can see that sort of formulating in her, like, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
Out of this.
Right there.
Wow. Wow.
We had a big crane shot. We were above, and Anna's hands were
watching
under
it
the
all
sheets, going
happening.
for it.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Harkening back to the
But it's just
to
as
the better
effective here.
days of
Yeah.
the pilot where she was giving him a
I know. It's
You
the
know.
only kind of sex. Like on HBO, the only kind of sex is doggy style. On Breaking Bad, it's just hand
hand
jobs.
jobs.
I know.
There's nothing else.
There's nothing else. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah. Way to keep it classy.
That's it. Keep it classy. Keep it classy, Breaking Bad.